I am going to be making some food. I will be having Thanksgiving with my animals and myself because as a full-time single person RVer, I'm going to be on my own for major events, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, or my birthday. I will probably be somewhere where I'm just me and the pets. So, gotta get used to it. Neither here nor there is in Santa Clarita, California, basically home, and I am celebrating Thanksgiving, holiday number 1, on my own. Used to it. Gotta learn to make it a celebration and not a, oh, poor me, I'm alone. Right now, can you see the back of my head? I did not fix it. So you're going to catch me oftentimes as I am. I'm not trying to cover up anything. This is me. And I'm going to be making my Thanksgiving essentials. I will be right now starting the prep on my favorite part, which is the stuffing. So we're going to call this IVAS, I-V-A-S, apostrophe S, stuffing. Probably skip the potatoes because stuffing is it for me. Turkey, it's there. Stuffing, yes. Gravy, oh my god, yes. So stuffing and gravy, that's all I need for Thanksgiving. Okay, I have a little remote control thing and it kind of worked, so we'll try it out. I know you can't see my face, but that's because I'm trying to focus the camera on where I'm going to work. I have made stuffing / dressing many times prior to this, where it doesn't go in the turkey, so it doesn't get any extra flavor. And it's just kind of boring. It's kind of damp, slightly flavored bread. Well, what my aunt did, ramped it up to it's delicious by itself. It really is delicious. And I personally like it best after Thanksgiving, cold, right out of the refrigerator. Since nobody's paying me for anything, normally I use Pepperidge Farm. But Mrs. Cubbison's was on sale, so I'm no fool. I'll give it a try. I got 2. I got the regular kind and the cubed kind. So it kind of gives it a little more texture. I'm going to follow the recipe on here, with the exception that I'm going to add the secret ingredient, which is no secret to all Midwestern cooks. I have some onions here that I'm going to use because it said on the box, it said a cup of onion, chopped up onion, for each box. So each box had a cup of onion. So I'm going to do that. I have a bunch of onions that I stored. Espresso, hold on, outside. This is just in the RV. You see, I don't have a lot of room, but I have enough. Got my super fancy knife I'm going to use. Please, God, do not let me cut myself, because I don't want to go to the hospital, though it would make a good video. I do not want to take get rid of this piece, because this is what holds all the onion layers together. I'm going to go down the middle, kind of it. So now those pieces are held. And I hear Shomi barking outside, so I'm going to have to stop and go out and bring her in so that she doesn't annoy people so much that we have to be kicked out. Like I said, I love stuffing. So what I do, and I've seen this on TV, is you basically make little cuts this way, not all the way to the end. Try to make them uniform. No, mine are not beautiful, but they're not horrible. Show me! Excuse me. And now you do this. And they have a thing where you hold your finger in a certain way so you don't cut yourself. I'm not good at that. I have a hard time getting that to work. Whoops, sorry. Oh, that's better. Put it on top and push it forward slightly. So, I'm using my scraper. Look, I got most of it picked up in there. Go. People say put a toothpick in your mouth, put a matchstick in your mouth, whatever. Run the water in the kitchen. What? You know what? Is it really that horrible if you have a good cry while you're doing your onion? No, it's not. Have a good cry. Have a good cry about whatever didn't go right in your life or about the people you miss. It's a perfect time Okay, I have the celery. What you do is you gotta, I don't think it's whole pieces of celery they want. They just want little chunks of it, chopped up celery. So you go down the whole celery with your knife, coming up to the top. And now you have a little tree. So it makes it smaller pieces. You want sometimes for texture, I will get Chinese water chestnuts and chop those in, because the celery as it cooks will wilt, so it will not be as crunchy as it was at the beginning. But the water chestnuts, the Chinese water chestnuts, which you get in a can, they stay super crispy, I don't know, until death. Okay, if you look at my bag, you see I have more onion than celery. But to me, that's not bad, because I love onion flavor and I like celery flavor. Now my other big item that I put in is, I put in mushrooms. I love mushrooms. They really don't have a flavor. They take the flavor of whatever. And I just can't go all the way to giblets. So these are kind of like giblets light. Okay, so now this, you can use the button of the mushroom or the stem. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to use the stem because I use the button part in a lot of stuff. And so I've got a few stems left. Now, don't wash your mushrooms. Don't wash them. The soil that's on them, which you can brush off with a brush if you really want to buy a brush, you can brush it off with a paper towel. Or you can use your hand, which is what I do, because, you know, I go for the easy way, and brush off the little bits of dirt that are on it. Because tomorrow I'm going to put all of the celery and the onions together in a pot with some broth / stock / whatever, and the buttock. I like to say it that way. Buttock makes me feel fancy. And I put those all together, and I'm going to cook them a little bit, and I will add my special ingredient. I'll show you. And then that will all go onto the, or into the tin foil container that I put in the oven to bake. Cut them, you can chop them, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to do this. Okay. So, I am going to be making my stuffing. I cut up all the veg ahead of time, and I always put more in than it says, because basically the directions say for the whole box, a cup of celery, a cup of onion, and that would be 2 cups of stuff, and I definitely I'm going to use 2 boxes, so it's okay. I'm going to use this, putting all this stuff in here. My problem is going to be finding a container even this big enough to hold it all. Then it tells you to put in, yes, this is not low-cal, this is not diet, this is not quote-unquote healthful, but it's delicious. So you put in half a cup of butter. It says per box. I'm putting in 2 boxes, so I'm going to do that. Well, maybe not. Then it tells you to put in 1.5 cups, I believe it is, of stock broth per. So I'm going to do one. I should have a ceiling camera. No, not really. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to do that many videos. Following the directions, but it would be basically 3 cups of this. I'm going to do it. 3 cups of the liquid. I'm going to cut back on the butter. I'm from the Midwest. We live with cream of chicken and cream of mushroom soup. This is like our lifeblood, which is why we are chubbier than a lot of other places in the country, except the South. I don't know. Oh, they use grits and they fry a lot. So I'm going to put 2 cans of this in, 1 for each stuffing thing. But I'm not going to put it in now. Right now I'm going to boil the veg. Get that boiled for like 10-15 minutes max, and then I'm going to put the soup in. Then I'm going to put the dry stuff, mix it all up, then I'm going to put it in the oven, and that's probably what I'll do tonight. Okay, it does smell good in here. The beginning of that Thanksgiving smell, even though the only thing is the liquid for the stuffing. So I had a huge container, and it's shrunk down to that. I remember that huge bag of veg. That's what it is now. And I'm going to put in my 2 cans of let's call it Midwestern. Okay, I got the soup in. It smells good. You could just make this some kind of thick. It's kind of gross, but it could have been thick soup. So now I'm gonna put all this stuffing, dry stuff in, stir it up, put it in the pans, and if I feel I need a little more moisture, I'll just sprinkle some beef stock, whatever. It doesn't matter. Stock on it or broth. And then I'm going to wrap it up and I will show you what it looks like tomorrow or tonight after I cook it. Okay, I finished the stuffing, put it in the oven, and cooked it. So this is kind of what it looks like. You cook it with some tin foil on top and then you take it off so you get a little crustiness. Step 1. 2 pounds of green beans. Blanching takes a minute or so. You don't want to cook them. You just want to like lock in their color and give them a little bit less texture than they have raw. So they're sitting in there. But ideally what you do is you then drop them into ice water so that you like stop the process of cooking. I don't have enough ice to make ice water, so we'll see what happens. They are blanch. I trimmed them all up. See, they're not 100%. Supposed to slice up the mushrooms, cook half in a pan with some butter, some olive oil, etc., etc. Do all that, and then eventually cook the other half. I'm cooking them all. I can't believe it. I cannot find the flour. I know I have flour somewhere. I don't know where it is. I looked everywhere. I'm going to have to go to the store tomorrow morning. It is Thanksgiving morning. I can't find my flour, excuse me. So I have to run to the grocery store. Look at how windy it is here. See all that dust blowing. It's just crazy. Now for the beans. It's melt 2 tablespoons of butter and add 2 tablespoons of flour. Using my spectacular microplane, I grated a half a cup plus of Parmesan cheese and garlic. I love this for whisking. Mom had one of these years ago. It gets the bottom of the pan, which a regular whisk doesn't always. Okay, the flour is in there. I'm going to cook it for, it said about 4 minutes, but we'll see if it starts to brown a little bit. I will go back to doing my stirring. I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely a little bit more caramelized brown looking. One thing to remember when you're cooking in an RV with propane, it seems the fire is so much hotter and harder to control. Good. We're going to let it boil for a minute or two, and then while I'm stirring constantly, and then I'm going to add the other stuff. Okay, I almost tipped the camera over when I was trying it a different way. So here we go. Just going to put all the stuff in. Here goes the garlic. Yum. Here goes all the cheese. Okay, I did what they said with the beans. I made like a little layer on the bottom, sprinkled some of the mushroom stuff, another layer of beans, mushroom, da-da-da-da-da. And now I'm going to pour on the salt. This time it's not the typical French's. I got this for salad toppings, but I didn't really like them in my salad. So this is the perfect place for them. Too much onion? Never. That really is yum. I will just eat them off the top. The turkey is supposed to be like 160 degrees, 165 degrees. And basically the time is up or the time is close to check the temperature. So I have my handy dandy little machine and I'm going to stick it in there right in the middle. Ooh, we can hear that. Pull it out and it is 128. 130, so it's definitely not ready. I'm going to give it another 30 minutes for sure. What happened there? This container is not going to fit in my little baby toaster oven, as I just found out. So I am heating up my convection oven. I'm glad I have one of these. It just came with it because I don't love the propane oven. It's too hot and it burns the middle piece. I read that what one should do is freeze sweet potatoes for at least 6 hours. Then wrap them tightly in tin foil. Bake them. Okay, here are my sweet potatoes. Now, it says to start them in a put them in a cold oven. Start at a low temperature, like 300. And you're going to have to cook them for about 2 hours is what they say. And then test with the skewer. See if it goes in and they're done. And if they are, then you unwrap them and put them back in the oven, but now set to like 425, 450 for another 20 minutes. We'll see. Okay, I'm making a little bit of gravy. I started with the roux, a little bit of the turkey juice, or the turkey juice that was left from that little piece of turkey, and then I did some of my favorite better than bouillon and some water. We're going to try this, then we're going to see how thick it gets, and I'm going to add some cream or milk, probably cream, just because I want to, I don't know, go for that flavor without without watering it down too much. And then the turkey came with a package of something that's supposed to be gravy, so I'm going to taste it. If it's not bad, I'll add it. What the heck? My sweet potato method, they are roasted. There's one wrapped up. I haven't unwrapped it yet. This is the unwrapped one. That's the oven I'm going to throw them into for at least 15 minutes. I can't remember. And then we'll see. But it looks pretty. We'll see what happens. Thank you for joining me for my first solo Thanksgiving. It was a lot of fun trying these recipes, old and new. I never did sit down with a plate of Thanksgiving food, so therefore I can't show you a plate of Thanksgiving food. I tasted things as I made them. I was standing up in the kitchen. I had a couple bites of turkey, I had a couple bites of the beans, ditto with the sweet potatoes, and of course the stuffing has been delicious. It's even after Thanksgiving. I've still got at least another day or two left of it. So thank you. I wasn't lonely because you were here with me, and I will try to make more coherent videos in the future, but this was my first real cooking one, and thank you for sharing my Thanksgiving meal with me.